Episode 5, The $10 Million Ghost. The news breaks 48 hours after the Vance hit. I'm in a coffin hotel in Sector 9, the kind of place where you rent sleep by the hour and nobody asks why your shoulder is wrapped in blood-stained medical foam. The wall screen is cycling through corporate news feeds, the visual noise that passes for information in 2143 when my face appears. Not a photo, a render. Someone fed my biometric data into an AI and reconstructed what I should look like now. They got it mostly right. Harder edges than I remember, eyes that look like they've seen the heat death of the universe, but recognizably me. The text below is what makes my blood stop. Zyl Koban, wanted for corporate terrorism and assassination. Bounty, 10 million credits. Authorized termination on site. 10 million. I've been awake for 3 weeks, and I'm already worth more dead than most people earn in a lifetime. The news anchor's voice is professionally neutral, like she's reporting quarterly earnings instead of painting a target on someone's back. AstroTech CEO Marcus Van has issued a priority termination order for the suspect, believed to be operating in the new Tokyo metropolitan area. The bounty is open to all licensed contractors and has been posted across colonial networks. AstroTech security advises extreme caution. Koban is classified as an enhanced threat with elite combat training. The screen cycles to footage. Not of me, but of the Vance hit. Someone's security camera caught the whole thing in grainy thermal imaging. I watch myself move through Vance's security detail like a ghost made of violence, every shot precise, every movement economical. Then the collapse. 30 seconds of me convulsing on wet pavement while the city bleeds neon around me. They cut the feed before the part where I get up and disappear. Subject is believed to be suffering from significant neural degradation, the anchor continues. Approach with caution. Use of lethal force is authorized and encouraged. The screen goes dark. I killed it with a gesture, Neuralink finally doing something useful instead of throwing errors. 10 million credits. I know what that means. Every bounty hunter, every desperate contractor, every 2-bit operator with a gun and delusions of capability, they're all coming for me. The Undercity is about to become a hunting ground, and I am the prize. The black chip pulses in my skull. Not quite alarm, more like calculation. It's running probability matrices, threat assessments, survival scenarios. None of them are good. I need to move. This coffin hotel was compromised the moment I showed my face to rent the room. The clerk probably already put in a call to someone, somewhere, hoping for a finder's fee. I gather my gear. It's not much. The suppressed pistol from the Vance job, half empty. The mono-molecular blade, still crusted with someone's blood. The combat skin that barely stopped around last time. I'm running on scraps in spite, and now the entire city wants me dead. Perfect. I slip out through the maintenance access, bypassing the lobby where the clerk is definitely not calling bounty hunters right now. The corridor beyond smells like chemical runoff and broken dreams. Standard Undercity atmosphere. My neural link chimes. Incoming message encrypted. I almost ignore it. Anyone contacting me now is either trying to kill me or use me. But the encryption is familiar. Resistance protocols. Old ones, but I recognize the signature. I flag it open. The message is brief. You've made yourself valuable. AstroTech doesn't post 10 million bounties for nobodies. We should talk. Coordinates below. Come alone. Come armed. The coordinates place the meet in Sector 12, deep Undercity, the old industrial zones, where the city's original infrastructure still stands beneath a century of construction. It's lawless down there. No corporate presence, no law enforcement, just whatever survives in the cracks between civilization's foundation stones. Perfect place for an ambush. Perfect place for the resistance to hide. Kira told me to make noise if I wanted the resistance to notice me. 10 million credits is pretty loud. Question is whether this message is legitimate or someone trying to collect the bounty with a cleverly written invitation. Only one way to find out. I move through the Undercity like I'm remembering how to be a ghost. The skills are there, buried under 13 years of cryo-freeze and 3 weeks of neural damage, but they're surfacing. Muscle memory runs deeper than conscious thought. Sector 12 is 2 hours away on foot. I could take transit. The old magrail system still runs this deep, carrying cargo and people who can't afford the surface levels. But transit means cameras, checkpoints, places where someone might recognize the face that's now worth 10 million credits. So I walk. The Undercity at night is a different world. The neon doesn't reach this far down. Instead, you get bioluminescent growths, engineered fungi that feed on chemical runoff and emit a sickly green glow. It's barely enough light to see by, which is exactly how the people down here like it. I pass settlements, shantytowns built from corporate refuse and scavenged materials. People live here, entire communities existing outside the system, surviving on grey market trade and careful invisibility. They watch me pass with the wariness of prey animals spotting a predator. Smart. I'm radioactive now. Anyone seen with me is an accessory, a potential information source. AstroTech will burn through these people like paper if they think it'll lead to me. I need to disappear deeper. Find the resistance, if they still exist. Find out what the hell happened in the 13 years I was on ice. Find out why my memory is full of holes and ghosts. The coordinates lead me to an old subway station. Pre-expansion infrastructure, built when Tokyo was just one city instead of the sprawling megapolis that ate half of Japan. The platforms are crumbling concrete, the tracks long since dead, filled with stagnant water that reflects the bioluminescent glow in oily patterns. I'm not alone. 3 figures emerge from the shadows, armed, cautious, spreading out in a formation that shows tactical training. Not corporate security, the gear is wrong, too much salvage and improvisation, but not amateurs either. Zyl Koban. The speaker is a woman, 30s, hard features made harder by scar tissue. You're either very brave or very stupid to show up here. Neither, just out of options. Fair enough. She gestures and the other 2 lower their weapons slightly. We've been watching you since you woke up. Impressive work on the Vance hit. Sloppy escape, but we'll attribute that to you being freshly thawed. Your resistance? What's left of it? She steps closer, studying me with eyes that have seen too much. My name's Keiko. I run a cell here in Sector 12. When we heard an AstroTech asset had been pulled out of cryo and was making noise, we got curious. When AstroTech put 10 million on your head, we got interested. Because you want to collect? Because anyone worth 10 million to AstroTech is someone we want on our side. She pauses. You don't remember us, do you? The Resistance. What we were. I remember fragments. A woman named Tanaka, Vega Station, training people to fight back. The memories are there but slippery, like trying to hold water. After that, nothing. Just the cry chamber and waking up in debt. Keiko's expression shifts. Something like pity, quickly suppressed. You've been gone 13 years. A lot has changed. Then catch me up. She exchanges glances with her companions. Some unspoken communication passes between them. Finally, she nods. Come with us. We'll show you what happened to your resistance. They take me deeper into Sector 12, through passages that don't exist on any official map. The Undercity is a maze if you don't know it, and these people know it like surgeons know anatomy. We move through the dark, guided by bioluminescent markers and memorized paths. Eventually, we reach a settlement, bigger than the shanty towns above, more organized. There are maybe 50 people here, living in converted maintenance spaces and old utility rooms. It's not much, but it's defended. I spot automated turrets, hardened barriers, everything positioned to make this place a nightmare to assault. Welcome to Haven. Keiko gestures to the settlement, one of the last resistance strongholds in New Tokyo. We used to have 20 sites like this. Now we have 3. What happened? AstroTech happened. Syndustries happened. The corporations stopped pretending there were rules. She leads me through the settlement to a space that serves as a command center. Old computer equipment, scavenged displays, a tactical map of the Undercity marked with annotations and threat assessments. 10 years ago, the resistance was real. Organized cells, coordinated strikes, actually making the core bleed. We were winning small victories, making them afraid. She pulls up a video file. The timestamp reads 2136, 7 years ago. Then this happened. The video plays. It's a public execution. Corporate production values, broadcast across every screen in the colonies. A stage, cameras, and a woman kneeling in restraints. I recognize her immediately, even though I've never seen this footage. Commander Yuki Tanaka, the woman who led Vega Station. The person I trained, who became a real leader, who turned desperate people into something dangerous. She's older in the video, lines around her eyes, grey in her hair, but her expression is defiant, even with a gun to her head. Commander Tanaka of the Vega Resistance, an off-screen voice announces. Corporate authority, the kind that expects obedience. Found guilty of terrorism, corporate sabotage, and conspiracy against authorized government. Sentence, immediate termination. They don't give her a chance to speak, just professional efficiency. The gun fires, Tanaka drops. The video cuts to crowds watching on public screens. Some faces show satisfaction, most show fear. The message is clear. This is what happens when you resist. The file ends. I'm standing in the command center, hands clenched, staring at the blank screen. The black chip is screaming in my skull, rage and loss processed through silicon and memory. She held out for 3 years after they put you on ice, Keiko says quietly, built the resistance into something real. Then AstroTech got tired of playing and brought the hammer down, captured her, made an example. After that, the resistance fractured. Cells scattered, most gave up. Some went underground so deep they'll never surface. How many are left? Active fighters, maybe 300 across the entire Undercity. Coordinator resistance, gone. Now we're just survivors, hiding in the dark, trying not to get noticed. I turn to face her. Then why reach out to me? Why risk exposure? Because you're a ghost from before the fall. You carry AstroTech classified technology in your head. You killed one of their executives and survived the response. And now you're worth 10 million credits, which means they're scared of you. She steps closer. We're not an army anymore. We're barely a nuisance. But if we can help you hurt AstroTech, help you become the threat they're afraid you are, maybe that's worth the risk. It's a terrible plan. Desperate people betting everything on a broken asset with a parasite in his skull. But I understand it. Because I'm just as desperate, just as broken, just as willing to bet everything on hurting the people who took everything from me. What do you need from me? Information. You worked for AstroTech before they betrayed you. You know their systems, their protocols, their weaknesses. Help us hit them where it matters. My memory's fractured. 13 years of cryo damage. I remember tactics, training, skills. But specifics, system access, that's gone. Then we work with what you have. And maybe, she hesitates, maybe we find someone who can help recover what you lost. Who? There's a man. Lives in the deepest levels, below even where we operate. Calls himself the Friar. He's got access to old resistance networks, data archives, things AstroTech thought they destroyed. If anyone knows how to unlock a damaged memory, it's him. The name means nothing to me, but Keiko says it with the reverence people usually reserve for myths. Can you contact him? No, he contacts you, if he wants to. She pulls up a map of the Undercity. Below Sector 12, there are more levels. Maintenance zones, abandoned construction, areas that predate the modern city. The map labels them as condemned, structurally unsound. He operates down there, in the bones of old Tokyo. You want his attention, you go to his territory and prove you're worth his time. How? That's the question everyone asks. No one has a good answer. She meets my eyes. But you're worth 10 million credits to AstroTech. That's proof of something. Maybe it's enough. I stay at Haven for 2 days. Not because it's safe. Nowhere is safe with a 10 million credit bounty on my head, but because I need time to recover. The Vance hit took more out of me than I want to admit. The cryo sickness is still there, lurking in my cells, waiting to strike when I push too hard. The black chip helps. It's been compensating for my degraded state, overclocking damaged augments, keeping me functional through sheer stubborn calculation. But I can feel the cost. Every day I'm awake is damage I'm not healing from. Every fight burns through resources I don't have. I'm running on borrowed time, held together by illegal technology and hate. The Resistance people at Haven treat me like a ghost made flesh. They've heard stories about the operators from before the fall. Elite assets who could dismantle security teams single-handed, who moved through corporate towers like smoke and shadow. I'm not that person anymore, but I used to be. And that memory is enough to make them look at me with something between hope and fear. On the second night, Keiko finds me in the corner I've claimed as sleeping space. I'm not sleeping. Sleep means nightmares. Fragmented memories of people I've lost and can't quite remember, but I'm conserving energy. Close enough. There's news, she says. AstroTech just escalated. They're not waiting for bounty hunters to bring you in. They're sending their own teams into the Undercity. Elite security, full assault packages. They're gonna burn through every settlement until they find you. How long? They hit the outer settlements today. Killed everyone who couldn't prove they weren't hiding you. At the rate they're moving, they'll reach Haven in 48 hours. I stand. My body protests. Everything hurts, all the time now, but I push through it. Then I leave, lead them away from here. And go where? You're the most wanted man in the colonies. Every bounty hunter, every desperate operator, every 2-bit thug with a gun is looking for you. Surface levels are a death trap. Then I go down, to the deep levels. Find this Friar and get the answers I need before AstroTech finds me. That's suicide. The deep levels are lawless even by Undercity standards. Gangs, predators, things that used to be human. You'll be dead before you find anything useful. Maybe, but staying here gets everyone at Haven killed when AstroTech arrives. At least if I'm moving, I'm making them work for it. She's quiet for a long moment. You're not what I expected. The stories made you sound invincible. Some kind of corporate super soldier who could ghost through any defense. That was 13 years ago. Now, I'm just a broken asset trying not to die. No, she shakes her head. Now you're the ghost that came back. That's more dangerous than being invincible. Ghosts don't follow the rules. She pulls out a data crystal and hands it to me. Everything we have on the deep levels. Maps, known gang territories, last reported sightings of the Friar. It's not much, but it's more than nothing. And this, she hands me a second crystal, smaller, older. This belonged to Commander Tanaka. She kept a personal log. Encrypted, coded, probably paranoid. But you knew her. Maybe you can make sense of it. I take both crystals. They're warm from her hand, heavy with implications. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. You might not survive long enough to make thanks mean anything. She grips my shoulder once. But if you do, if you find the Friar, if you get your memories back, if you become the weapon AstroTech is afraid you are, come back. Help us finish what Tanaka started. I will. It's a promise I'm not sure I can keep, but it's all I have to offer. I leave Haven at midnight when the Undercity is as close to quiet as it ever gets. The Resistance gives me supplies, basic gear, ammunition, a better combat skin that might actually stop a round or two. It's more than I deserve, given I'm bringing AstroTech down on them just by existing. But Keiko insists. You're the last echo of what we used to be. When people hear you're still fighting, still hurting them, maybe it'll remind them why we started this. Maybe it'll matter. I don't have the heart to tell her it probably won't. That one broken operator with a parasite in his skull isn't going to reignite a resistance that was crushed 7 years ago. That hope is a luxury neither of us can afford. Instead, I take the gear and disappear into the dark. The journey down is surreal. Each level of the Undercity is a distinct layer of history, sedimentary strata of urban development. Near the surface, you get the modern city, neon and chrome and corporate authority. Mid-levels are the working Undercity, where people survive outside the system but still follow its echoes. Deep levels are something else entirely. This is old Tokyo. Pre-expansion, pre-corporate, the bones of a city that existed before the megapolis devoured it. The architecture is wrong by modern standards, too organic, too human-scaled. But it's still standing, preserved by darkness and neglect. I follow Keiko's maps, moving through passages that were streets a century ago. The bioluminescence is thicker here, covering walls in layers of engineered fungus that pulse with sick green light. It's beautiful in a toxic, dying way. I'm not alone in the deep levels. I spot movement in the shadows. People, maybe, or things that used to be people. The Undercity has a way of changing you if you stay too long. Augments gone wrong, neural modifications that break instead of enhance, desperation that strips away everything but the drive to survive. I avoid contact. I'm hunting for information, not fights. But the deep levels have their own rules, and sometimes rules are just suggestions written in blood. The first attack comes from a gang, 5 of them, wearing salvaged core gear and feral expressions. They spot me and see 10 million credits on legs. That's him, one hisses, the AstroTech ghost. We take him in, we never work again. They're wrong on multiple counts. First, taking me in means surviving me. Second, AstroTech doesn't pay bounties to Undercity gangs. They take the body and disappear whoever brought it. But desperation makes people stupid. They rush me in a coordinated attack that would be impressive if I hadn't seen it coming 3 seconds before they moved. The black chip is feeding me threat assessments, probability matrices, tactical solutions. It sees the fight before it happens. I move. The first 2 go down with nerve strikes. Non-lethal, but they'll wake up with headaches and questions. The third gets a blade through the shoulder, pinning him to the wall. The fourth hesitates, seeing his companions drop, and that hesitation costs him. I close the distance, disarm him, put him down with a knockout strike. The fifth turns to run. I let him. 5 minutes later, I'm gone, leaving the gang to wonder if I'm a ghost or just very good at what I do. The answer is both. I find the dying rebel on the 3rd day. He's in an old maintenance station, collapsed against a wall, bleeding from wounds that are already hours old. Corpo gear, but resistance colors. Someone who fought in the old days and never stopped fighting. His eyes track me as I approach. Recognition flickers. Koban? That's impossible. You're dead. News to me. I kneel beside him, assess the damage. Gut shot, execution style. He's been left here to die slowly. Who did this? AstroTech hunters. Came through yesterday, burning the deep levels, looking for you. He coughs blood. Guess they figured anyone down here might know where you are. I didn't, but they shot me anyway. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm old. Fought in the real resistance, back when we had hope. His hand grabs my arm with surprising strength. You need to find the Friar. He's the only one left who knows. The only one who kept the faith. Where is he? Deeper. Below the condemned zones. There's an old temple, pre-expansion shrine. He's there, keeping the memories safe. His grip tightens. Tanaka trusted him. Before the end, she sent everything to him. All our secrets, all our plans. He's the keeper, the last keeper. How do I find him? You don't. He finds you. The rebel's eyes are dimming. But if you're worth finding, if you're really Koban, really the ghosts come back, he'll know. He always knows. His hand goes slack. His breathing stops. Another ghost for the collection. Another name I'll never learn. Just someone who died believing I might matter. I close his eyes and keep moving. The temple is exactly where the dying rebel said it would be, 3 levels below anything on Keiko's maps. It's ancient, wooden construction that has no business surviving a century underground, but somehow has. The entrance is marked with a shrine gate, traditional torii, standing in the darkness like a promise. Or a warning. I approach carefully. This could be a trap, could be a myth, could be anything. But I'm out of options and leads, running on desperation and the dying wish of a man who believed in something I can't remember. The black chip pulses, not alarm, but recognition, like it's been here before, or remembers something about this place that I can't access. I pass through the torii. The temple interior is illuminated by candles. Real fire, anachronistic and beautiful. The walls are covered in data screens, all displays showing information I can't pass at a glance. But the overall effect is clear. This is an archive. A library of secrets, maintained by someone who refused to let them die. A figure sits at the far end of the temple. Old man, maybe 70, dressed in traditional robes that contrast sharply with the modern technology surrounding him. His face is peaceful, contemplative, like he's been expecting me. Zyl Koban, his voice is soft, but carries in the temple space. The ghost who won't stay buried. I wondered when you'd find your way here. You're the Friar? That's what they call me. I prefer Keeper. I keep the memories. The truths they tried to erase. He gestures to the screens around him. 13 years ago, Commander Tanaka sent me everything before AstroTech captured her. Every file, every name, every secret the Resistance learned. She knew they'd break her eventually, so she ensured the knowledge would survive even if she didn't. Why? Because knowledge is the only weapon that survives suppression. They can kill the fighters, crush the cells, break the leaders, but if the knowledge survives, the resistance survives. Even if it's just one old man in a forgotten temple, keeping the flame alive. He stands, moving with the careful grace of someone who spent years in meditation. You came seeking answers about what happened to you, about the chip in your skull, about why AstroTech is so afraid of what you carry. Can you help me? But first, you must prove you're worthy of the knowledge, that you'll use it wisely, that you won't waste the sacrifice of everyone who died keeping these secrets safe. He meets my eyes. 10 million credits on your head means you've already made yourself AstroTech's enemy, but being their enemy isn't enough. You must become their reckoning. Tell me how. Not yet. First, you must prove yourself. He gestures to the darkness beyond the temple. The deep levels are ruled by gangs, criminals, predators. The worst of them call themselves the Red Skulls. They've claimed this territory, made it their hunting ground. They prey on the desperate, the weak, anyone who can't fight back. You want me to kill them. I want you to free this place from their grip. Show me you're not just a weapon, but a force for something more than revenge. Do that, and I'll give you everything Tanaka died protecting. Every secret, every answer, every memory you've lost. It's a test. Of course it's a test. Nothing in this world comes without proving yourself first. But I look around the temple, at the screens full of secrets, at the old man who's kept the faith for 13 years while the world moved on. And I understand, he's not testing if I can kill. He's testing if I'll use that killing for something beyond myself. Where do I find the Red Skulls? The Friar smiles. It's sad and knowing, the expression of someone who's seen this story play out before. They find you. The moment you step outside this temple, the moment they know you're here, they'll come. They always come. Then I'll be ready. I hope so. Because if you die out there, the last echo of Zyl Koban dies with you, and the resistance truly ends. I leave the temple and step back into the darkness of the deep levels. Somewhere above, AstroTech security teams are burning through the Undercity, killing anyone who might shelter me. Somewhere in the city, bounty hunters are comparing notes, planning approaches, dreaming of 10 million credits. And somewhere in my fractured memory, Lyra is dying again and again, her last moments played on an endless loop I can't stop or escape. The black chip pulses, it's hungry, it's always hungry, and the deep levels are about to feed it all the violence it can consume. I'm not Zyl Koban anymore. Not really. That man died on ice 13 years ago. What walks the darkness now is something else. A ghost. A weapon. A reckoning waiting to happen. The Red Skulls want to hunt me? Let them try. End of episode 5.